Bo,
Mm.
rejoice. The UK population is growing. The economy must be booming. All that GDP, just dripping in GDP. No, we're not, are we? Actually,
So wait, if it's not the case that if population goes up, GDP goes up, and everyone wins, you're saying that's not the case. Saying it doesn't work like that.
That equation is a flawed one, apparently, allegedly, seemingly, because year to 2024 sees UK record second largest population growth in 75 years, and it's from foreigners because the white British, the actual British, have always had a stable population of about 40 to 45 million. That's just been the population size. It's good for the for the island as well, like in terms of the size, the landmass that we have. It's kind of been what we've always had. Flipped a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, but it's always been around the 40 odd million mark. Well, now we're at 70 million. And that's only the stuff which is recorded. It's going to be significantly higher because I remember Tesco, I think, if I remember rightly.
It'll be millions more than that, won't it?
Yeah, Tesco did. Tesco's a shopping chain, a grocery store for you guys in the States watching this, if you don't have it. And they put out their estimates of how many people were in the country. I think it was Asda and Tesco, and they were like 80 million.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago. So this is going to be so much higher than 70 million.
Yeah. Quick thing to say, we have a census. We do census like all civilized countries every now and again. But a much, much more realistic, accurate number is like the amount of toilet paper that gets sold, the amount of baked beans that get sold or whatever. Right. That is a much, much truer number because lots and lots of people, if they're living under the radar, just simply don't fill in their census forms or never get any in the first place because they're living in a house with 10 other Indians and they're all illegal or whatever. So whatever the actual estimate, the government estimate is, it'll be quite a few million more than that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. So as this BBC article states, the UK is estimated to have recorded a population growth of more than 750,000 in the year to June 2024. This is the second largest annual increase since the late 1940s, and England saw a faster increase rate than the rest of the UK. Yes, because we keep taking the detritus of the world. That's why. Scotland doesn't have that many migrants. Neither does Wales. Neither does Ireland. No, Ireland does, to be fair, actually. But we have a lot as well. We have a hell of a lot. So net international migration, which is the difference between people moving into the country and leaving, accounted for 98% of the UK's overall population growth, the ONS has said. So in mid-2024, 69.3 million people were estimated to be in the UK, up from 68.5. Again, it's going to be so much more than this. So round it up, it's like 70. But it'll be way more than that. It'll be like 85 million people or so. It'll be mental. It'll be absolutely mental. So the ONS came out and said a whole bunch of crap. And they love it. They don't care. They're not analysing this data in a way which, anyone with an element of critical thought would do and say, this is actually really bad. So they said the UK population has increased each year since mid-1982. Net international migration continues to be the main driver of this growth, continuing the long-term trend seen since the turn of the century. The stuff that we explicitly don't want here, by the way. So the thing which we keep democratically voting against, we keep being, forced under it. The rate of population increase has been higher in recent years, and the rise seen in the year to mid-2024 represents the second largest annual increase in numerical terms in over 75 years. In the year to June 2024, 1.2 million people were estimated to have immigrated to the UK, while 496, so 500,000, were likely to have emigrated. So total net was 738, but they always round this. They actually revise this normally, and it's like way higher. So these figures are way lower right now. They'll be way higher. This is like a guarantee because it's always the same without failure. I don't think there has been a year where it hasn't, in fact, done this. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys. So another factor, albeit a fraction of the overall increase, was that there were slightly more births than deaths in the year mid-2024. Yeah, and we know what one of the most popular names is. It's Mohammed. That shouldn't be the case in England. Actually, there should be no one, in fact, called Mohammed in the UK. I'll say it. I don't care. You don't belong here. That name doesn't belong here. Begone, please, from my land, my ancient land, which I've now got DNA test results to show that this is my land. So the number of births in the UK was 662,000 compared to 645,000 deaths, which added 16,239 to almost 750,000 total. Basically, this is just ridiculous. Yeah. I hate this. Like I actually hate this. They start saying about this, the average number of children that are born to women in Wales and Scotland is also lower than the rest of the UK. Again, because they don't have migrants there. That is why they don't have them there, which contributes to fewer births. I hate all of this. I hate it with a massive passion. These people don't belong here. We are one of the most densely populated, like per square mile, places on the earth. Like we're really densely populated, and it's really important to keep that in, like, you know, into account when we talk about stuff like this. Our landmass is tiny. You can drive from one end to the other end, you know, so south to north, in like approximately 7 to 8 hours. Like you can drive to Scotland in about that time, right? So it's not like we're tiny. Like our landmass is tiny. Yeah. And we're just shoving people in, just cramming it in. They don't belong here. This is disgusting to me. It's offensive to me. They don't belong here. This was never. What's the end goal? Because the economy's shit. Like, what's the end goal? What? We just could be the like a care home for the third world? No, fuck off. No, go away.
Yeah. Hard baked into this is disaster. This is like not just sort of annoying or frustrating or rage-inducing. It's really, really sad, because this will end in catastrophe, blood. It will end in blood. So yeah, as you say, we're quite a small landmass. You can walk from Land's End to John O'Groats for charity in your 50s. It's quite a small island, relatively speaking, right? Yeah, we're already one of the most densely populated bits of the earth. Yeah. Wales and Scotland. Scotland is largely mountains. It's largely the Highlands. They've got a few cities. Same with Wales. They've got 1 or 2 cities. Other than that, it's like valleys and stuff. So yeah, they'll get their fair share as much as possible, which is to say, not a great deal. It's mainly England. England has always been, in every metric, the dominant partner in Scotland, England, and Wales. It's always been the most populous, the most industry, the most economy. Okay, so we're the most affected by massive immigration by a long way. All the big cities, all the biggest cities on the main island are in England. Okay, now, yeah, this isn't just like, oh, maybe like the demographics are changing. No, this spells disaster. This spells an absolute disaster. And there's no way to avoid it. Like when people say, you know, traitor lefties, or just people that themselves are invaders, just try to make the argument that, no, you're just a racist. You're just a racist grifter if you talk like that. Or like you somehow want some kind of sectarian ethno-race war. That's what you want. That's why you're talking like this. No, not at all. No, it's just a natural consequence now of having done this, of having foisted this upon us. And it's disastrous. I mean, we see it in our everyday lives. It's not just that your cities have got like gangs of foreign people on the street corners. It's that the school classroom sizes are overflowing. You can't get or in certain places you can't get a dentist appointment, you can't get an NHS appointment. Like the roads themselves are too full. The infrastructure is falling apart. Councils can't keep up with the infrastructure demands, all that sort of thing. And even the argument that just more people, someone like Fraser Nelson might make, that it's just more people mean higher GDP and everyone gets richer. So, well, that's just not true. That's just not how it works. That's just simply not how it works. And all of that is to say nothing of the actual fabric of society, crime rates, the ability to have a higher trust society. All of that goes out the window as well. So it's a disaster in almost any way you care to mention it. The only thing they can possibly say are bullshit nonsense arguments like, well, we have a greater diversity of restaurants or something.
I've got the recipe book, mate. I don't care about
We've got the recipes. We don't need millions of Bangladeshis in order to make chapatis or something, right? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense, right? Yeah. We don't need millions of Vietnamese people in order to cook Vietnamese style food. We don't need that. Like, we don't need millions of Indians in order that we can have like a tech sector. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't work like that again. So yeah, you say, what is the end game? Well, it's one of two things. It's either that you're so naive that you just think, still somehow would think that diversity is a good thing, and the more the merrier. That there probably are a few normies out there that still just genuinely believe that, with no malevolence in their heart. They still think that, or no, or the other one, the only other possibility is that no, we actively want to destroy your society and your country and your way of living, and actually, you as a people want to destroy that, or at least water it down so far until you become a minority, a hated and despised and persecuted minority in your own ancestral homeland. No, that is the goal. That's the goal. It can only really be one of those two things. You still believe diversity is a strength, or you mean to destroy us. Either way, it doesn't really matter at this point, because some sort of terrible nightmare future is now sort of baked in. I mean, I say that it's completely inevitable. I do hope against hope that we'll have strong enough governments in the following few years that they will implement some program of mass deportation and try and reel it back from the very precipice of a South Africa or a Yugoslavia style nightmare. I do still hold out a small amount of hope that might be possible. I mean, even that will be very messy. I said that in my article like 3 years ago that got me deselected from Reform, that even that, trying to deport tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people that don't really want to be deported, just that, it might not be a civil war, but it will be messy. It won't look good. But, well,
it's what needs to happen, isn't it, really?
It's that, or we become a persecuted minority in our own ancestral homeland.
I think it's such a shame, isn't it? Because, you know, I would take, because what the arguments that people make, they're such pathetic arguments. I would take the state and the entire nation regressing on the world stage. I would take us financially, economically, completely collapsing just to have a safe future. Just to have a safe future with a cohesive culture. That I would take it all. I'd be fine with that, because then I at least know, you know, I'd have a high trust society, relatively speaking. You know, like now it's atrocious. They lock up things. The most basic like items that you can buy are locked under you know, in under lock and key now. It's pathetic. It's no way to live, and it's a choice. And just suggesting that, well, you know, we need them because things are going to collapse. Yeah, I'll take it. I will take anything other than that future. I would take no pension. Give my no. I don't give me a pension. Don't give me a pension. Let's nurture a society, a culture which you can lean on one another as opposed to the state. And this is what's happened, right? You know, we keep importing people as this Ponzi scheme to pay for pensions and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, fucking dog shit. Same as the NHS, dog shit. You can't use it. All right, let's nurture a culture where you can rely on one another, where you can help one another out, where your kids let you move in, right? So you don't need a pension. Or educate people to save money as they grow. And maybe you should do that. Because all of this just leads to a complete collapse. No matter what way you look at it, there's going to be a collapse because you can't import the third world and then not become a third world nation in the process. We will become a third world nation, right? And then you're still going to have economic collapse. And then we'll be pariahs on the world stage anyway. So no, we should go out under our own terms, actually.
No, completely agree with you. Morgoth said this, it's been good on this. That exact point you just made. Now, I'd rather live in a much, much poorer country if it meant I got my country back. It's screw GDP then. If that's what it means. If we have to go back to almost like a subsistence level of living, you know, like I think of the true austerity during the Great Depression. Some people think the Great Depression only affected the United States. No, not at all. Or if you go back to the sort of true austerity after World War II, people had ration cards into the 50s. It was hard. It was hard to live through the war and the years afterwards. You know, kids that were little kids in the 50s didn't know sweets, barely ever got chocolate, didn't know what the taste of a banana, what a fresh banana or orange was, things like that. Like real austerity. You know, you grow things in your garden because you have to. It's that or you go hungry, right? I'd rather live like that and have my country back 1,000 times over as well. Yeah. Okay, the NHS might collapse, so be it. Then, if that's the cost. Yeah, like pensions, no pensions. Yeah, well, we're probably not going to get one anyway. Even people of our generation, I doubt will, by the time we're at retirement age, I suspect the state will say there's nothing there. Yeah, you've been paying into it for 45, 50 years more, but there's nothing in the pot now, so no state pension for you. I suspect that's the case already anyway. Right? Yeah, care homes. We can't staff any care homes. Well, if that's what it takes to get my country back, again, prepared to pay that.
Price I'll pay.
Yeah,
it's a price I'll pay. I guess a good phrase would be to lean on what you said a little bit more. What Morgoth said is, I'd rather have a poor country but rich in culture.
Rich in real community. Yeah. Rich in sort of a homogeneous sense of national, dare I say, racial identity. Yeah. We are the English, and this is our land.